Tonight, the Eyre Peninsula's hydrogen industry receives government backing, and Port Perry's Memorial Oval gets a tick of approval from a special guest.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. The Eyre Peninsula could soon become South Australia's largest exporter and producer of hydrogen energy. The state government today unveiled plans to scale up production.
Thousands of jobs and billions of export dollars. That's the vision South Australia's government has with its latest project. They've confirmed a plan to upscale renewable hydrogen production over the coming years.
South Australia is most likely ahead of everywhere else in the world with regard to the capacity to produce, to consume ourselves and to export 100% clean hydrogen.
The state government revealing its action plan today at an international hydrogen conference in Adelaide. The $1 million plan set to identify ideal locations for hydrogen production across the state and begin production as early as 2020.
South Australia is perhaps better placed than any other country in the world. There's abundant sun and wind energy to create hydrogen and export it.
Construction on Australia's first hydrogen production facility will begin next year, located just outside of Port Lincoln. And plans are in place for a larger site at Cape Hardy, which would become the world's largest hydrogen facility. The local RDA says the plant would be a jewel in South Australia's green energy crown.
Just creates another opportunity to diversify our economy, to create jobs and investment that we really need.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A New South Wales specialist police dog and handler have joined the search for 2 people feared murdered in regional South Australia. The cadaver dog and handler are today in Kimber, searching for the remains of 19-year-old Scott Redman, who went missing near Secret Rocks last year. They'll also travel to Manor Hill to look for the remains of mother Tanya Ebert. Wilmington locals have welcomed a state government plan to manage the impact of little corellas. Residents say the birds have wreaked havoc across town and are now impacting tourism.
They're the cunning creatures causing mayhem in Wilmington.
I think we're tens of thousands of dollars in damages now.
Hundreds of corellas flocking from location to location, destroying trees, electrical wires, sporting ovals and anything else in their path. Business owners say they're also affecting local tourism.
Screeching from these birds has terrified a lot of our international tourists.
Locals have tried everything from sirens to gas guns to try and disrupt the birds, but with no success.
It is not coming to any fruition. It's if anything, the flocks are getting larger and larger.
But the state government is searching for a solution, releasing a draft 5-year plan to tackle the corella issue.
What we've found is over recent times, the little corella populations have been increasing.
It's looking at restricting food and water sources, continuing ongoing scare tactics, as well as an option to create a safe haven for the birds, an area for them to live where they won't impact local communities.
So we think that it's best to try a number of things. There's no one strategy that will fix it.
The public is urged to give feedback for the draft plan on the Your Say website. Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Broken Hill councillors will be asked to take a stance on climate change at tomorrow's council meeting. The city's mayor says elected members should be showing leadership on the issue.
A call on her fellow councillors to take a stand on climate change.
Disaster that's facing us. I think council needs to take a position on it. Personally, at home, I've taken a position, but for my community, I want them to know that we care.
The Mayor's motion would prioritise climate responses as Council reviews its community strategic plan. If passed, it'll see Council set goals to reduce emissions and waste. The second mayoral minute is calling for Council to request the reinstatement of a pensioner train ticket from Broken Hill to Adelaide. It would see the price for pensioners and seniors slashed to $2.50. 50.
It's important for people to travel to Adelaide for many reasons, not just family, not just education, but health.
Councillor Tom Kennedy says his motion for council to fund an artificial pitch at Picton Oval would greatly benefit local cricket.
Picton Oval's always been a good committee. They've done well to maintain it. It's one of the best kept ovals in town.
With the Jube off limits, the Zinc on its last legs and the Norm Fox struggling, Mr Kennedy believes Picton would be a game saver.
It'll be a good thing for cricket and a good thing for the community, and I think without a doubt the councillors will support it.
Council meets tomorrow night at 6:30. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, a Whyalla carer nominated for a national award, and Broken Hill filmmakers urged to enter a local film festival. Welcome back. Whyalla family daycarer Tara Utting has been nominated for a prestigious national award for the second year in a row. She says she feels honoured to be recognised.
It's no regular morning here in the Utting household. Their home transformed into a family daycare centre.
After children in my own home for local families, and have been doing that for about 17 years.
These children start their day like any other childcare centre.
Say thank you, Madison.
And now their carer has been nominated for a national award.
The group of us who filled out the nomination forms and we all spoke about it, and yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Recognised as the Whyalla and Eyre Peninsula regional winner in family daycare, she'll now be competing for a national title.
I'm so proud of my mum. This time last year when she was nominated for the regional award, we were like beyond excited, and then she went to into the national final round, and just for it to happen again is so exciting.
Tara says this award is a testament to years of hard work.
It's nice to be recognised, and I know that they know that I'm doing a good job, so it's really exciting. Yeah.
Believe how much work Tara puts into her family daycare setting, how welcome we all feel, and it's not just Tara, it's her whole family.
And she's also got the children's support.
We are Tara.
For more information on the program, contact Family Daycare SA. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A Broken Hill pub has been recognised for one particular item on its menu. The Tidville Hotel and Bistro has been named a finalist in the Australian Hotel Awards Best Palmy category. A judge disguised as a diner taste tested the meal, with the dish a chance of being named the state's best.
I reckon the locals appreciate that. We get a lot of support from our locals, and they love that the food's consistent. They love it that it's made with a bit of care, and it's all taken, it's all fresh.
The winner will be announced in November. And the Clare Valley region is one of 4 finalists competing to host a unique festival. They're in the running to host the Festival of Wheat, Wool and Wine, which is organised by accommodation provider whatif.com. A ballot is running until September 29th, with the region that receives the most votes winning hosting rights. Aged care volunteers have met in Port Augusta to hear critical information on caring for the elderly in rural areas. Workers say transport barriers remain their biggest issue.
As some of our most vulnerable in the community grow older, many in rural areas struggle to continue living independently.
The biggest issue is limited public transport and the mobility to be able to use that public transport.
Maybe not having family here, not having services here, it's a big challenge.
But the Commonwealth Home Support Package is leveraging off the efforts of volunteers, allowing the elderly to stay healthy and keep active.
Because once they lose that ability and their independence, then they go backwards.
Aged and Community Services Australia today partnering with Volunteering SA to offer new training to those lending a hand. Lynn Forster manages a transport service with over 1,000 clients in 6 council regions.
It's all ages, but a high percentage are over 65.
People in the sector say volunteer-run services are essential to the overall well-being of the local elderly community.
We want people to stay healthy and independent in their homes for as long as possible.
Volunteers certainly play a part in making that happen.
Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Broken Hill's budding filmmakers still have time to enter this year's Perfect Light Film Festival. Organisers are encouraging those with an idea to start shooting.
Just over a month away, but entries close soon.
If you have an idea, get out there and get your mobile phone out, which is basically a studio in your pocket these days. So get out there and have a crack.
The 2019 Perfect Light Film Festival will be held across the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of November. It'll kick off with the premiere of Australian-made documentary Susie Q on Friday night, before the free film festival in Sturt Park on Saturday. A record number of submissions have been received this year, which will soon be narrowed down to 12 finalists.
We also showcase a special Emerging Filmmaker Award, which is supported by Are You OK? And that's purely for students 18 years and under.
And some famous faces will be doing the judging.
So Baz Dubois, we've got Rana Collins, who's one of the producers at NITV. And then we've got Firas Durrani. Most people will know him from The Underbelly. He's played John Ibrahim in The Golden Mile.
The celebs will also be involved in workshops that will be held on Sunday.
First prize will collect $1,000 in cash. Second prize is $500 and third prize is $250.
And the Emerging Filmmaker Award takes home $500. Entries close on October 4. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Men's sheds across the region are celebrating National Shed Week. The Whyalla chapter is looking for new members, saying the organisation is more than woodwork and manual crafts.
It's a busy life at the Whyalla's Men's Shed. This group is one of more than 1,000 operational across Australia.
Men's Shed Week is where we try and broadcast what men's sheds are all about to all Australians, because a lot of people don't know what we do. We're here to look after men.
They say shed life isn't just about the woodwork, also offering men the opportunity to participate in the community. And it will soon be on show mid-October, with associations from across the region joining them for a day of celebration.
Of course, we're having a men's shed muster. And the men's shed muster is on a Friday, which we're going to get all the people from around the peninsula and across the York Peninsula to come across and spend the day with us.
Coming up in October, we're hoping to gather a number of sheds together. Have a good day.
The Whyalla Council also throwing their support behind this organisation, donating $5,000 towards the shed, which they say has already been put to good use.
It's a good job they do. It helps us, yeah. Because we have to pay to run the place, you know. So we have to sort of try and make money.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. We'll have the latest sports results from across the region. And Ruby will have the latest weather details. Hello again. Port Perry's cricket grounds have had a special inspection from the manager of the Adelaide Oval. He's praised the condition of both grounds, saying they're pitch perfect.
The grass is always greener in Port Pirie. Groundskeeping staff and the members of local council headed to Memorial Oval for a different kind of inspection.
Yeah, come up, have a look and have a chat to the team here that look after the square and manage it. So.
Damien Hugh, Adelaide's Oval Turf and Pitch Curator, paying extra close attention to Memorial Oval Centre, carefully inspecting the undulations and the grass regrowth.
It's very, very similar to the way that we've been taught through the generations.
And he's pleased with what he's seen. The Adelaide groundsman praised the quality of the grounds, saying he's impressed of how the centre square remains in good condition after a long football season.
You want all codes to be working together in the best interest. When you've got a cricket square in the middle, it doesn't matter whether you're up here or at the Gabba or the SCG, you need all codes to buy into it.
Damien praising the effort put in by the local Oval curator.
Make sure that you look forward and try and improve what you do out there.
Dominic Beaton, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Sport Now and local soccer associations are preparing for the biggest event of the year. Teams across South Australia will head to Port Pirie this week for the annual Country Championships. Nathan Regter has more.
More than a dozen soccer teams across the peninsula are preparing to battle it out this weekend for the annual championship. This year, 12 associations will travel to Port Pirie with Port Lincoln's under 12, 13, 15 representing the town. Meanwhile, the associations held its presentation night over the weekend. Pete Taylor from the Lincoln Knights taking out Player of the Season with 20 votes. In the Silver City, Soccer West defeated St Joe's to win the A-grade premiership. The sides were locked at 2-2 after 90 minutes, with West scoring 3 unanswered goals in extra time to clinch the win. Over in Whyalla, and champion Wanderers finished off the league season with a 3-0 win over Steel United, while Westlands were held to a draw by Croatia. Netball now in the North Eastern Grand Final, Udunda Robertson defeated Riverton by a slim 7 goals. Moving over to the Spencer Golf Bowling Association, and ETSA Gold defeated PA Red by 28. It was a closer match between PA White and ETSA Blue, White winning 73 to 68. Golf Red defeated Whyalla Golds, while Corn defeated Gold White. That's it for another week of sport across the region, and if you would like your sports results featured here on 7 Spencer Golf News, drop us a message at localsport@sca.com.au.
And with a look at what's happening in the weather, here's Ruby.
Thanks, John, and good evening. It's been a fine and mostly sunny day about the region. Port Pirie reached 23 degrees, Port Augusta 21, Broken Hill 20, Adelaide 19, Whyalla 18, Port Lincoln 16. From the satellite, we can see light scattered cloud over parts of our region, with a high pressure system keeping skies mostly clear. But moving on to tomorrow, on the Gulf waters, southeasterly winds tending northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, seas up to 1.5 metres, and sunrise will be at 7 minutes past 6. We can expect another fine and mostly sunny day. Port Augusta and Corn both looking at a top of 25 degrees. Woodna and Port Pirie 23, Whyalla 22, Broken Hill and Cleve 21, Kadina 20, Coffin Bay, Clare and Adelaide all with tops of 19 degrees, Port Lincoln 18. Taking a brief look further through the week now. A sunny day expected at Port Lincoln, Cleve and Woodna on Thursday, with partly cloudy conditions Friday and Saturday. Much the same at Whyalla, Port Augusta and Kadina, with maximum temperatures rising 4 to 6 degrees above average on Thursday. Port Pirie and Clare both looking sunny on Thursday, then partly cloudy Friday and Saturday. Broken Hill with bright and sunny conditions expected Thursday and Friday, ahead of a partly cloudy start to the weekend. And John, that's it for today's weather. Back to you.
Thanks, Ruby. And that's the local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll have some updates later in the evening, but until then, enjoy your evening here on 7. On behalf of the team, it's good night.